Hey, and welcome back to Thriving Life. Woot woot. All right. I got a question. For everyone. It's me and it's Genie Zelda. Genie Zelda is my bestie come manager of the universe, come TWA co-lead, come excellent photographer, blah, blah. And I'm just me. I'm the president of the Wide Awakening. Fancy, right? So listen. I have a question. Have you ever worried about anyone else, the world, anything, and then carried that worry in your body, and as a result, had yourself not actually focus on the dream that's dreaming you, actually be distracted from everything that makes your heart sing because you are in worry? Have you ever done that? Jeannie and I have never done that. So it's going to be a very, very difficult topic today because we kind of got to get in someone else. I'm so full of it. Jeannie and I
have no idea what you're talking about.
And Adam Lamb has been the recipient of the carrying. So here's the thing. Carrying, like, it definitely is a woman thing. It's a man thing too. Don't get me wrong. If you worry about anything, you're carrying. Right. And if you spend any time on it, you're carrying.
I mean, a lot of men would say that, they really make a big deal about trying to be a good provider and good parent. And that's completely carrying, right?
Yeah, it is completely carrying. Well, being a good parent is not carrying. But when you worry about it and like, how much am I going to screw up my kids? And like, what did I do yesterday that changed the rest of their life for the wrong way? That would be some carrying for sure. So, dudes, we are talking about transcending or freeing yourself from carrying today. And by the end of 20 minutes, you will never carry again. No, that's not what's going to happen. However, we are going to talk about the different forms of carrying. Why is it that we even bother carrying, and why it doesn't make any sense at all, and what you could do instead? Another way of being. We're going to talk about another way of being. That's something that you can put your attention on that will displace your need to be involved in somebody else's or the world's process. All right, let's jump in. Jeannie, I know you never carry.
Never, ever.
No, me neither. I know. But if you did, what are your areas of most, just like this weird freaking autopilot way of being? Let me even share this. My mom, when she got breast cancer, she asked me, Jennifer, you're this holographic seer channel, all this stuff. And so tell me, what's in my field? What's going on? Why do you think I got breast cancer? Like, tell me what you see. Work your magic. And I said, well, I have a question for you. I said, what is the one thing that causes you the most stress? And she said, I worry about you. I have two sisters. So you girls, I worry about you. I want to hear from you. I want to know what's going on. I worry about you. By the way, instantaneously, my mind is going, carrying. Oh my God. And I said, she goes, it just comes along with love. If you love people, you worry. worry and love are together. And I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. No, worry is worry and love is love. And she said, well, no, not really. And I said, no, mom, listen, worry is worry and love is love. They're two different things. And so my question to you, so it was a distinction, and we had a little discussion about it so that and she understood. And in the end is like I love my mom, but in the end I said, "Mom, I'm just going to reach out like 3, 4 times a week to you instead of the once. And I'm just going to talk to you all the time and just let you know what's going on." And she said, "Well, that would be good. That way I can just love you." And I'm like, "Okay." That's so funny. So anyways, dude, I just want to give a good example, of that's what carrying is. So what does it look like for you, dude? What do you do that like and what does it do to you physically when you carry?
It was really interesting because I was probably about a couple of weeks ago, I could feel it was in the highest to turn off my phone and keep it in the living room because I know me. When I'm in bed and I just have a little bit of time for myself, it's like I end up scrolling. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens is I go down this wormhole of watching for like hours. So
Mhm.
I know it's in the highest. Turn it off. Turn consciousness off for the night so you can just feel clear. And what I watched was it's like, no, I'm just gonna keep it on, but I'll turn it on I'll put it in silent because just in case the kids call me and there's an emergency or me,
Oh.
and then I realize, oh my God, holy crap, I'm totally carrying them. And I'm totally carrying myself as an identity of a good mom that I need to be there for them all the time. So that is something that I had noticed. And when I'm carrying, what I notice immediately is my lower back starts hurting.
Ah,
And I'm feeling extremely tired, like I lose my energy.
yeah.
And I'm kind of grumpy. Like I'm grumpy, like I feel very short with myself and others. That's when I know I'm totally carrying.
Yeah, I get it. So one of the things that happens to me when I carry is I get tired and I lose all my creativity. Like it goes out the friggin' window. And usually it happens when I either carry the company or the like TWA or the finances. And it's funny when people say, "But Jennifer, you know, you channel stuff and you teach us stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, but when I'm channeling, I'm kind of embodied in a different way of being, and I'm just catching up to that as a human being. I'm not, I'm just the same as everybody else. Maybe I get over stuff a little bit faster, like you, Jeannie. That's why we can teach it because it's like, but at the same time, it still happens. It's not like this is like who is it? Ram Dass said something like it's not that this stuff doesn't happen to me. It's just the speed at which I get out of it is way faster, basically, is what he was saying.
So true.
So so dude, question. I find myself getting really disinterested in carrying. And I'm kind of curious in myself because I have eliminated so much carrying. Oh my God. Over the last 10 years, it's like night and day. And I've noticed that when I do carry, the symptoms of worrying about things are like 100 times worse. Have you noticed that?
It's immediate. It's
Yeah.
immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to say almost 100% of the time where I'm feeling off or bad, it's because I am worrying about something or carrying the future, like trying to prevent the future or trying to prevent the past, I would say that's almost 100% of the reason why I ever feel off. Am I nuts, or does that sound about right?
Totally. That makes sense. Right now, I'm just sort of carrying your collar, and it's like just okay. There, that
Oh,
feels better.
I keep carrying how my collar looks. Wow. Wow.
Okay,
Seriously.
I'm at peace now.
Now
I
you're at peace. So this is another aspect of it. Actually, you just brought up a good point. And that is, oftentimes people say, well, I would stop worrying if the circumstances would just change. Like, I would stop worrying if my back stopped aching. I would stop worrying if the world would settle the hell down. I would stop worrying if I had 10 times the amount in my bank account. Then I wouldn't be worried. And oftentimes people say, I want the circumstances to change first. Then I will stop putting the pressure on myself or feeling, all the things.
It's
And
conditional.
yeah, it's totally conditional. And I can just hear our audience going, but that's hard. So what is it that has you, like, I know what it does for me, but what is it that has you finally, like, I'm thinking of the other week when you were talking about your back. What is it that has you step out of it? Like, what do you need to do in order to stop? What disrupts it? What makes you, because it's like a grease line, slippery slope to hell, right? It's like, because the more you worry, the more you worry. So what interrupts the pattern for you? What do you need to do?
Well, for me, it's moving my body.
Yeah.
It's just a pattern interrupt is usually the best thing. It's like, if I'm carrying the kids, or if I'm carrying the house, or if I'm even carrying myself, it just, again, taking a walk, or doing something completely different, putting on a Netflix fun Christmas show or something. Sometimes I need my mind to do something to sort of get out of all the mental stuff and of all the thinking. And recently, it's funny, I've always considered myself not a napper. Like, I can't nap during the day. But with the intensity of the things that I feel these days, sometimes it just presents for me to take a nap. And, powerfully enough, after 20, 30 minutes, it's like, oh, look at that. I just feel reset. Right?
Yes. For me, when I wake up from those kinds of things, I find myself needing to, God, I'm just looking at how pasty and white I look next to you. I'm yes. I'm like white as a ghost. So, but anyways, I'm going to carry that. How
Yeah,
about
you
that?
carry that,
I'm
Jen.
just
You
gonna
carry
carry
that.
that.
Can we
Yeah.
please get over the carrying once and
Oh,
for
you
all on this
too.
show?
Oh my God. You're
Yeah, this is just,
also way more
it's
mocha than me.
it's in the genes, baby. What can I
I'm
say?
so sad. I'm so sad.
You know what? There's a story when we're talking about carrying. It's funny. When we traveled in the past, like, Jen keeps her bag open, like, 'cause she just, it's convenient, just ease of grabbing things out of her bag. And I remember
My
several
purse.
times, yeah, your
And my
purse,
bag. And my
your bag, and your
backpack. Yeah.
backpack. And I remember I kept looking at it, and every now and then I
would twitch.
yeah, my eye would totally twitch. I would, when she's not looking, I would close her bag. I would close her backpack. And Jennifer would look at me like, I'm fine with it open. And then I recognized that I was carrying, the fear that, if something was taken, or if she lost her passport, which has happened in the past, and even though everything was okay, it's like,
always,
like, I was carrying the fear that if something happened, it would, screw up our vibe, screw up the energy, or it would even be my fault. And we had that conversation, because she would, Jen would look at me like, what are you doing? Don't carry me. Don't carry my bag. And yeah, it's like little things like that.
Yes,
Wow.
all the time. It's identities and identities and identities. What I was going to say about when I get up, what I have to do in order not to go right back into the same cycle I was in before I take the nap is when I wake up. Okay, when I wake up, I automatically go into at least 5 things that I'm grateful for. So I'll wake up so I fill my brain first so that it doesn't direct like to anything crazy. And consciousness now knows, like the universe responds to me in that way now. Cause even when I wake up from a sleep, I future imagine, like I imagine how my day could be, or the future of my life or whatever, and I let myself roll around in how good it feels, even though I'm imagining it, and it's to my body, it's real. And so I'm attuning myself to a certain kind of day or a certain kind of life. And when I remind myself of that, what happens is my propensity to go back to worrying about all the things, it almost just disappears. And so I wanted to share that. And the second thing is just, so this is what entanglement would, when someone carries, what entanglement would look like would be like, oh my God, thank God for Genie Zelda. She always closes my purse and she always takes care of me. And it's so great. And I need her in my life because she's so oftentimes what we do is we entangle with the people that carry us, like, oh, I need her so much. I see it happening with teachers, with people who are coaches. What happens is the coach carries, I remember a dear friend of mine calling everyone her babies, that everyone in her world were babies. These are my babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that would come in would be like this wounded child that wanted to be taken care of. And yeah, I actually called her on it and said, I don't think that's entanglement, that you're going to develop codependence with your clients. So that's what carrying can beget. Carrying can beget codependence, including with your children. Like, I need them. I must be significant to them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, it's interesting because that reminds me of when I first started working with you. I remember that I didn't realize it then that I was totally carrying you. I was totally carrying myself. Actually, most importantly, I'm carrying myself because I was carrying the fact that I wanted to be so relevant. I was carrying the good worker, the good manager, the good, I had to be the good wind beneath your wings.
right.
So that was totally carrying the identity of making sure that I stayed relevant. And
She's changed now because she doesn't give a crap about me anymore. So
you a little.
it's awesome. Oh, thank God for a little bit of entanglement. Man, there's got to be a little. Jeez. Look, I'm just thinking like how significant I wanted to be to Adam, and he would do it back to me too, of how significant. Isn't it crazy? And all these things come along with love. Often we entangle. It's like my mom, right? My mom wasn't trying to be significant. She was just like, I don't want anything wrong to go with wrong to happen to my kids. And in a marriage, there's like wanting to be significant to the other person somehow. And ultimately in a marriage, all you want to do is be happy being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of waiting for the other person to validate your existence, that you're a good wife or that you're a good mom or that you're a good anything or dad or whatever. So, dude, like from here, if we actually look at what's a way of it brings to mind, I'm not usually interested that much in analyzing the living heck out of why I'm worried or carry, because I could probably go back lifetimes and find all the ways, but it would never get me to being free. It would just get me really good reasons why I'm stuck. Um, which reminds me, I talk about this in Unstuck, the book I wrote. I so recommend you guys get that book. It's like just a
Powerful.
juicy dive in. And by the way, um, there's a story about Adam in there. There's a story about Genie in there. It really does help to unravel the carryingness. But so our what I notice is that our approach to this is very different in that I started searching instead of analyzing why I'm bad and wrong and fixable. I started looking at, okay, this is part of my evolution. So what way can I be instead? What way can I be instead of someone that worries or carries or tries to be significant to everyone or whatever? What is the way of being that my greatest self is calling me to? And what do you feel that is, Jeannie? Like, what do you think?
That's a really great question.
It's like instead of worrying and care, see, to me, it's kind of like worry about nothing but play with everything. To me, that's the way of being I'm interested in, which is play with everything and worry about nothing. Like everything that's in front of me, play with it versus worrying about it or trying to fix it. Or if I played with everything, it would loosen up all the attachments. It would free up the energy.
But
And
but
yeah,
it's interesting. Sorry to interrupt, but it's
no
interesting
problem.
because especially with I know for myself in the last several months, actually the last probably year, with so much happening in the world,
Yes.
with politics, with floods and typhoons and earthquakes and and even
Crazy.
you know I watch so many of the people that I know going through so many hardships. It was interesting because for me, I started going down this wormhole of like I just couldn't get myself out of this. I don't know. I don't see it as a dark hole, but it was just I was feeling the feels, right?
Yeah.
I was feeling so much, and I'm like I didn't. It was hard to feel better, and I agree. The gratitude for me, the gratitude journal is huge because it goes back to the simplistic terms. Sometimes I watch my mind trying to figure out, okay, I need to be grateful for something significant. But then I'll just start writing and it's like, hey, I'm grateful for my sight. I'm grateful for my taste. I'm grateful that, for the strength of my legs to take a walk or whatnot. But then what I also recognized was how much I started carrying humanity.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, oh my God, I need to do something. I need to be serious. I need to control something so to make it better for the world.
Yeah.
And for me, it reminds me a long time ago of what Will had said, Will Linville. Before it's like, how can I help? What can I do? How can how can I make it better for you? And for it to shift to how can I emanate more of me for you? And when I think about that, it's like all there is, to be loved, like to be myself. And in a world of intensity, sometimes the mind just thinks that's not enough.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's when I ask the question, wait, is this even mine? Like,
Yeah.
is what I'm feeling even mine?
Yeah. And most of the time, what you're feeling is not even yours.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I would say 100% of the time. Yeah, I mean, there may be different, times where it is something that is yours, but it's seldom. It's so seldom. It really is that. Yeah,
But the ego loves to convince that it is yours.
it's yours.
That's
No,
it.
it's mine. But then you find out that it's because you're carrying someone else, and the carrying is literally what has you entangled with their emotions, and you start feeling the feels of others. I'm going to bring up one last thing before we go into the practicalities here. And that is a lot of the people that come to play with us they have identified themselves. I identify as an empath, as empathic. And I want everyone to know that we're all empathic. I mean, we're here to actually feel in this world. And I know, I mean, if you've seen Jeannie and I, definitely we've had moments where we could feel the entire world for sure. And so much of the time being an empath is because we made a decision when we were younger, when there was volatility or something going on around us that was so scary that we emphasized our ability to feel deeply in order to protect ourselves from what was
Right.
around us. And then
Exactly.
right? And then we embody that identity and then we call ourselves an empath. But I am cautious about labeling anyone that way. There are people that come in, including me, that feel and see everything and then have an experience where you feel and see everything even more. But the thing is, in the land of playing with everything instead of being affected by everything, in the land of playing with everything, I learned and Jeannie learned how to drive the Ferrari of being someone that feels a lot. And when you learn how to drive the Ferrari, the car doesn't run over you. You actually become someone who uses the superpower of feeling to inform the other superpowers like bridge building or being the love or switching the energy of the conversation. The ability to feel starts to inform our superpower, our other superpowers, how to be. And then we get to be even more alchemical and magical because then we're playing with everything. So instead of being a victim of the empathy, which relates to carrying, because then we're carrying ourselves. I feel everything. Now I'm worried about the fact that I feel everything. Now I'm carrying my
Yep.
own self. What if we switched it around and we said, what if I use the superpower of feeling to inform, which is why in the Wide Awakening, we actually teach about innate abilities, right? So it's powerful. So anyways, I just thought I'd add that little 2 cents. What do you think, Jeannie?
I
Anything?
love that. You know what? That reminds me also, I remember when we were on our one of our trips, it was in Mexico, and when you were talking about, driving the Ferrari, one of my most favorite conversations was about the clarity of who's driving the bus. And for me, that kind of hit home because I recognize, oh, it's the good mom that's driving the bus today.
Mm-hmm.
At this moment, oh, it's the good daughter, it's the good friend, oh, it's the good wife that's driving the bus today. And I can recognize that when I'm carrying that identity, it's like, oh, I could feel it in my body, I could feel the weight, I
Yep.
could feel my back, I could feel my exhaustion.
Yep.
And just being aware of that was just so powerful for me. And then, today it's like, okay, who's driving the bus today? It's Jeannie, just Jeannie.
And those are the juicy tools, you guys. Ask yourself, is the feeling I'm having even mine? And then you get to give it back. 2 is, who's driving the bus? Who is going to drive the bus? Who's going to drive the bus? If the good mom isn't driving the bus or, the good company owner isn't driving the bus, then how about the one that plays and dances with everything? How about the one that is a creator? How about the one that is in relationship and loves people driving the bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the third tool I wanted to bring up is if you're someone that carries, there's three breaths and 3 questions you can ask. The first breath is the question of is this mine? So take a deep breath and you go, is this mine? Then you get the answer, generally no. But you'll see. The second is, do I know I can feel better? And the answer is generally yes. You know you can feel better. Or you can ask, the second question could be, am I willing to feel better? Sometimes that's even better. And then the third question on the third breath is, what is the future that I'm living into? What's the future that I want to live into instead for this day or this hour or the next 10 minutes? And just imagine the future of how you want to go, how you want to be, how you want it to result, and let yourself be the person that matches that future. So it's a cool thing. So you guys, we are wrapping up for today. What I want to say is, if you want the tools and the reminders and all the things that will help you, you can actually join our free community, the Agents of Awakening Playground. And it's in the QR code up above. And there are the first 3 modules of several of our programs that'll help you out. And there are some free master classes that we really recommend listening to. And then the first month, you'll be able to jump in and actually join us in a channeled conversation about your life and consciousness and all sorts of stuff called Awaken Conversations. You'll get it for the first month free. If you want to join the paid community after that, you'll be able to do it for 12 months straight. So that's fun. So anyways, back to us, Jeannie. Anything you want to say, because it's all about us, really. It really is. Yeah. So what do you want to say in parting to all of our listeners today?
You are so loved. You're so loved. You're not alone. We're not alone. And we got this. You got this.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I want to share is stop it. Stop caring. Just stop it. Just
stop it.
Stop. So let someone else drive the bus. That's what I want to say. All right, you guys. We'll see you on Friday at 1 p.m. next time. Love you.
Love you.